What's happening, guys? Back at you with another video. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the first season of the new Saved by the Bell show. They're sort of calling it a reboot of sorts, I guess. But I'm not really sure exactly what they're like saying about it. But the new show of Saved by the Bell for this year, 2020, came out. They released like the whole full season on the new Peacock streaming service, which is like basically like the NBC version of streaming on there. So they released the whole season on the Peacock streaming service, and I did watch all of the first season. It's not very long. I believe it was only like 9 or 10 episodes. It could have been 8, 9, 10. It's around there, 8 or 9, 10 episodes. So not very long. Each episode's about, basically about 25 to 30 minutes long for each episode. So it's not very long. I was able to finish it within like 2 or 3 days, I think. The whole first season. So for this show, basically it's like the next generation of sorts. We get the kids of like some of the original cast, a couple of the original cast. Their kids are coming out in this one, and then we have some other new people coming out in here. I will say, like, as me personally, like, I never did watch Saved by the Bell, like the original show when it like first was around, which I think it was like the late 80s into the early 90s. It was around when it first came out. Like I wasn't even like born at that time. Like, so I didn't watch it originally when it first came out, but I did watch it later on. They used to have a lot of reruns show on TV and stuff. I used to catch like a lot of reruns. So basically how I was watching it was reruns through TV. Like they show, like a lot of times they would show it like in the mornings for us. Like I would like maybe watch 1 or 2 episodes before I go to school. They usually have it like in the mornings, showing, or if you were able to catch it like in the afternoon or something on certain channels and stuff like that, you could be able to watch it. So I basically watched reruns, and that's how I was able to watch the show through all the seasons and stuff like that, and watch the show through reruns, and that's how I did it. I will say that I do thoroughly enjoy the original Saved by the Bell show. It had some fun moments in there, funny. I had funny moments and stuff like that, so I did thoroughly enjoy it. And then I heard about this show like really recently. Honestly, I only heard about this new one like literally like 2 or 3 days before it actually released. Didn't even know they were coming out with the new reboot show for Saved by the Bell. And so I heard about it like 2 or 3 days before it came out or dropped on the streaming service. So I heard about it and I was like, you know what? Let me go ahead and check it out. So I did actually watch all the first season. It took me about 2 or 3 days to finish the first season. Not too many episodes on there. So basically I wanted to talk about it and get my thoughts on it. So we have like this new generation class for this show. We do have some of the original cast that returns. Basically, like Zach Morris returns. He is now the governor of California, which is kind of funny. He's the governor of California now, and he actually does end up marrying Kelly Kapowski. So they are married. They have a son who happens to go to Bayside, the original school that they went to. So he's there at Bayside. We have Jessie Spano that returns. She is now the guidance counselor of Bayside, and she does have a son. He's a football player that attends Bayside also. We also have the return of AC Slater that's come back out. He is now the football coach of Bayside. So we have a few other we have like returning people for this show, so it's not like a complete reboot of it. And they play their same characters that they play basically, but the new generation, what we get, basically what happens in the show, we have Zach Morris, who's the governor of California, makes budget cuts for the education system. So the lower end high schools have to pretty much close down, and he moves all those students to upper high class schools around the state. So we get this sort of people from this lower in high school who happen to move to Bayside. So that's what happens. We get these new characters. They move to Bayside, which is a higher class school for them. So they close their old school down and they go to Bayside now. And it basically the show plays out like how they adjust to Bayside, how they're adjusting to having going to a school that's more higher class than what they're used to. So we get that throughout the show. Basically, we have like the characters that went to Douglas High School, which was a lower end school. Sort of like influence the higher class, and then a higher class influences the lower class students, and like so it's like pretty much give and take for them on what they learn and all that. And honestly, like it plays well with the like throughout the show, like we see how the lower class teaches new stuff to the higher class. Higher class teaches a little bit of things, not as much as what the lower class teaches, but a couple of things here and there they teach them too. But the way it plays out, like with especially like I would say one of the big things will be like we get Daisy, well, who is an overachiever, kind of smart girl in the show, and basically she like teaches them, and she's like there. She teaches them new stuff like different things like to have sort of like compassion, and then to sympathy towards other people because they weren't really doing that to begin with, but really in the show I would say like Zach Morris's son, which his name is Mac Morris. As he progresses throughout the show, he kind of has like a change of heart, and he sees like because he starts out the show, he thinks highly of his dad, like his dad's everything and all that, and because he's the governor on that. But as he progresses through the show, he starts having a change of heart, and he starts seeing that well, his dad, there's things his dad that does that aren't very good, and all that. And he starts having a change of heart throughout the show. And by the end of the show, he starts to reflect on how his dad really is. So like it really was played well throughout the show on that part. And then just overall, we get like how they're all fitting in, how they become friends. They're all friends and all that. And basically, honestly, like I would say, like the beginning of the show is it kind of got warm up to the show. Like in the beginning of the show, like first 2 episodes or so, it's like not as good, but like as the show progresses, it gets better. And honestly, I actually did enjoy it for the most part. As more as the show progresses and you keep watching, I actually enjoyed it a little bit more and more from each episode. They have some funny moments in there, which was always fun to see, especially with the principal, who was played by John Michael Higgins, I believe. He has a lot of funny moments in the show, so I think he really did up the comedy in this show, which really helped it. So basically, like I did for the most part, I did enjoy the show. By the time the show was like the first season was ending already, and I will say that the very end of the first season, like the last episode, the very end of the last episode, I thought was kind of funny. Sort of look at dark humor, like, and it depends how people will take it, but sort of like kind of a dark humor. They reference how it is today, and I just thought it was a little funny nod to how the situation is and all that. So, it depends how you would take it. I sort of saw it as like dark humor, but it was kind of funny, a little bit somewhat. But it just depends how you take it. So, like I said, honestly, just got to warm up to the show. It wasn't too bad, honestly. As the show progresses, I was starting to like it a little bit more and more and warm up to it. And honestly, by the end of the first season, by the end of the show, watching the last episode, honestly, it wasn't too bad for me, honestly. Like, if they came out with the second season, I probably would check it out, the second season, because honestly, the more and more you watch as it progresses, it honestly gets better. From the beginning to the end, it gets better, and I actually kind of did enjoy it. I won't say I enjoyed it as much as the original show, Saved by the Bell, but this one has sort of a new take to it. It's sort of like placed this like this for this generation. It was basically made for like this generation, with the age of technology and all that stuff like that. And you see how it actually is made for this generation. So it really does put like a perspective to how it is now. So honestly, like the way that I like the way they did it with some of the issues they were trying to do in the show. So they did a pretty good job on that. But like I said, honestly, not too bad of a show. Honestly, I enjoyed it for the most part, and it wasn't too bad. I will say that theme song was horrible though. The y'all all know the original Saved by the Bell theme song. That song was I like that song was so good. Honestly, like it played well for the time, and honestly, it still is kind of good today. But the theme song they used for this show is basically a rehash of the original theme song, but with like sort of a it's a rehash, but it's also updated. And I get like a rapper. I forgot what rapper they used. They used like a different. Use a rapper from today though. And honestly, I did not like it at all. It does not sound very good at all. I would say that's probably. I wouldn't say it's my biggest gripe, but like that was one of the biggest things I thought was really bad about the show was the theme song. It honestly did not sound good at all. What the rapper they used and how there was like a rehash of the original theme song. But that's basically like what the biggest issue was for me. Not too many issues in this show, honestly. It just takes a little bit to warm up to, and as the show progresses, it gets better, and you start to enjoy it a little bit more better by the time the show is done. So honestly, I actually do recommend it. It's not too bad, honestly. If you have some time to kill and you want to check it out, I do recommend watching it and checking it out. If you're like a Saved by the Bell fan, or if you just want to watch something that's kind of like a teenage comedy sitcom of sorts, uh, not too bad of a watch, So check it out. But that's basically going to do it for this video. Let me know down in the comments below what y'all think of the show. If y'all seen it already, or if you haven't seen it already, and if you've seen the original Saved by the Bell show, let me know down in the comments below. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. But that's going to do it for this video. Hope you all enjoyed it. Remember, if you want to be a part of Team Legendary, all you got to do is subscribe and turn notifications on so you know when I post another video. Hope you all have an awesome day. And remember, be legendary.